One of our greatest poets wrote this little verse which said, it refers to the eagle or to the hawk who's flying way above everyone else. And it tells the hawk, he said, oh, hawk, don't be scared of the force of wind that hits you. It's only meant to make you fly higher. Sport teaches you something which you do not learn in any university or any school, because the idea of competing in sports is to prepare you for life, for struggle in life. The problem is that some sportsmen, when they finish their sporting career, they live in their comfort zone. They do not want to take any more challenges. And the entire experience of struggle on the sporting field, which is taught to you, is lost. Because the moment you do not take on any other challenges means that that experience which you've learned how to struggle is gone. So let me just say one thing. What did sports teach me? Sports taught me that it was not the most talented player that became a champion. It was the player who had that ability to take the knocks, who knew how to take defeat, who was not demoralized by defeat, but who learned from the bad times. Because in life, whatever you do, life is never in a straight line. It's in cycles. You will have your ups and downs in whether it is education, whether it is in business, and as Arjuna would know, in politics. It's a cycle. You have your good and your bad times. Success depends upon not how you deal with the good times, but how do you deal with the bad times. In sports, no one has ever become a champion who has not learned how to cope with when that defeat comes, when you fail. If you do not know how to cope with that, you can never become a champion. There are two ways people react to a defeat. One is they get demoralized, and when they get demoralized, they lose their dream. They give up on the dream. Second are those people who become champions, who actually learn from defeat, who do not give up. But every time there is a setback in life, there are lessons to be learned. So that ability to analyze where you went wrong, and then pick yourself up and start struggling again. That is the only way you become a champion. And that's the only way anyone achieves anything big in life. So in my case, I was not the most talented cricketer when I started. My two first cousins were, both of them captain Pakistan, and both of them, all my other cousins said, were far more talented than me. So when I was growing up, I was always told that I was never going to be as good as them. And then when I played my first test match, I was dropped. And everyone thought that was the last they would ever see of me. So for 3 years, I never played. I was out of the cricket team. So there were two ways. Over my playing career, so many of cricketers which were dropped after the first match never came back again. The majority never came back again. So there were two ways you could either give up and chase another career, or you could actually learn from your first test appearance or your first test tour. So it proves that the reason why I succeeded more than a lot more talented cricketers than me was that I had that ability to analyze my mistakes better than others. And then the second ability, I would work harder than most others. And that's why if you have that ability, you will keep improving. The improvement process never stops. Because when you have resistance, the Almighty has made us human beings such that the moment we face resistance, if we stand up to resistance, we get stronger. So we have immense power. All of us have incredible power inside us. But that power will only come out when we face resistance. When we pit ourselves up against challenges, only then that power comes out. That potential, that human potential only comes out then. Problem is that somewhere along the line we give up. And that's when we lose. So the more you face resistance, the stronger you get. If you put your arm against a higher weight, your arm will get stronger. But the mind is the powerhouse. And the more you put your mind into to resist and to challenge, it just gets stronger and stronger. The lesson is simple. All of us can become whatever we dream of. We should never stop dreaming. Anything that you can dream, you can achieve, provided you're prepared to struggle for it, and provided you do not get demoralized from the bad times, but instead, every bad time is a time of reflection, self-analysis, so that you even come back much stronger.